Quarantini Time, a place where I get to chat with friends and family while enjoying delicious beverages. My guest tonight I've known since high school. We weren't the best friends in high school, but eventually she attached onto my family and became the fifth McCabe child. She is one of the Mankato Four, one of the Golden Girls, my sister from a different mister, Annie Froehlich. Hey Annie, welcome to Quarantini Time.
Hi, thanks for having me.
What are we drinking tonight?
Tonight we are just drinking a little something on the rocks from one of our local wineries. We are drinking the Northern Forest Creme. Tonight it's the Walnut Liquor. It's from our Chankaska winery just north of Mankato.
I do not have that, although I hear a bottle is coming my way.
Indeed.
So, Annie, we have known each other since high school. Our high school days, we weren't the biggest fans of each other. I think that was mostly on my end, and I'm sorry about that. We were in the same math class. I believe it was my sophomore year, your junior year.
Yeah, I was not good at math. So it took me a little longer than some to get through it.
So that was my first taste of you, and you and one of your other junior friends would always sit like in the front corner, and I just wanted nothing. I'm like, why are these girls in this class? I want nothing to do with them.
Yeah, I think you have referred to me as, I just thought you were a bitch.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Well, we had nothing we had friends in common, but we never hung out in the same friend cliques. Like when we had our common friends always hung out in separate kind of.
And we were not in the same grade either.
Correct. Somehow you became the fifth McCabe child.
I did. You are one of the sisters of my picked family.
And I do believe that sometimes you are the favorite of the McCabe children. And I say this because my mother makes cookies specifically for you.
Yeah, in fact, I get a plate sometimes delivered to my work from your mother because she loves me that much. And now she's added my husband to it too.
I don't understand that at all.
Well, she's got a gift, and so that's like my one favorite Christmas cookie. And my family growing up, my grandma did it all the time, but I'm the only child, so my parents and I really never did stuff like that. So when I became melded in with your family, it was just that other tradition that I missed. So she's just kept it going for me.
I will go ahead and say that I no longer think of you as the bitch you were in high school. You're just a totally, completely different kind of bitch now that I love.
That's correct.
So I hear you've recently started watching Schitt's Creek.
I did. Yep, we just started watching it last week. But we're only into I think the 6th episode.
This makes my heart beyond happy. This is my favorite show. I just watched the finale episode last night. I bawled my eyes out, so know that that's coming. What's been your favorite part so far in the first 6 episodes? I mean, they cover a lot actually in 6 episodes.
They do, and it's hard to take it all in. I was watching it with my husband and my nephew, who's currently staying with us. We were all kind of trying to take it in, and I was paying attention, but probably not as close. Ben and I did look at each other at one point and Ben is my husband, for those of you who don't know me. We did look at each other, and we kind of went, that's your mom. And so when my mom watches this, I don't think she's seen Schitt's Creek, but anybody who knows my mom would probably find that kind of accurate in a little bit. Some of her mannerisms and things are a little mellish, and I appreciate that.
What other shows have you and Ben been watching?
We're always doing something around the house, so there's a lot of shows that everybody's been watching that we don't watch because I like to focus on it. Parks and Rec is one that has been on forever, and I still haven't watched it. I'm a huge Office fan. We always watch The Office just because it's in the background and it's on TV all the time. We watch Archer too. I think the writing on Archer is pretty fantastic. So we found that again on Hulu. It's usually background. Although the first week of quarantine, we did dive into the Tiger King, and we knocked that out in 2 nights.
Well, along with all of the television shows you just listed, which I adore every single one of them, there's something else that you and your husband and I share a love for, and that is cheese Cholitos from Zam.
Yes, and actually I think you and Ben probably have more of the melted love of it all together. When he gets a craving, it's go time.
Can you explain to the audience what a cheese chilito is? You can tell them all about Zan's as well.
Well, Dan's is a wonderful local restaurant. I remember going there in high school in the 90s. It looks exactly the same. A cheese chilito is basically this tortilla with love and some cheese, meat. I'll call it a solution sauce. I don't know really what, it's not like a meaty sauce, but it's not like a runny, cheesy sauce. I don't know what, but I find that it's delightful.
That is the mystery of the chilito.
It actually really is. That is the mystery of the chilito. And then the thing that makes the chilito is the hot sauce that you put on it. You have now brought me to the dark side of the jalapeno hot sauce, though.
That's what makes it. That and the tortilla. I don't know what those tortillas are. I don't know what's on the inside. And the Heinz jalapeno hot sauce, which you cannot find anywhere else except for a gas station in Westminster, Colorado. That is what makes a cheese chilito. I can't explain what it is, but it is amazing.
We actually always ask for extra sauce. And usually we get an abundance of them because we will reheat them and have extras in the house. But we actually have a drawer dedicated just to that sauce in our refrigerator.
And this is why I love you and your husband. You are a city councilwoman for the city of Mapleton.
I am. Had my first anniversary in January, so I'm on my second year.
Congratulations, councilwoman. You are also married to the fire chief in town.
I am.
You two have some very important jobs going on during this pandemic, especially for a town of that size. It's got to be a considerable thing to take under during all this. How are you two doing, and what's going on?
Well, I've been fortunate enough. We live in Mapleton, which is about 20 minutes away from Mankato, which is where I used to live, and that's where I work. And I work for the county in their financial aid. I'm a financial specialist. I have clients that I take care of their food support, their medical, cash assistance, emergency assistance. So while people are applying for unemployment right now, the second place they're going is the county to apply for other benefits. So working from home has been really kind of trying because it is pretty busy and we're not really being able to do 100% of what we do. Ben is constantly on these types of meetings pretty much every night between county levels, city levels, state levels, with the COVID for precautionary things that they're changing. It seems to change every day, the precautions and the measures that they have to take every time they get a call and have to go. They're also first responders for our town. We don't have an ambulance service in our town. So they will go for all medical calls too, and they've been quite busy lately. So 911 does screen the call for them, and they do ask questions regarding what maybe symptoms the person is having or if it's related to that, so they know how to enter the house, the facility, or wherever they're at.
Sounds like you two are quite busy with all this, and I hope it gets better for you real soon.
I am ready to go back to work. Anybody that says working from home, man, that's great. I mean, it does have its pros, but it is not like working at work. And I am kind of secluded. The dog just doesn't talk to me as much as I would like the dog to talk to me.
So one of your shows that you failed to mention, but I know is one of your favorite shows of all times, because when the reboot came about, I got nothing but text messages and, as Pat McCabe calls them, memes about this show, Arrested Development.
That's true. I didn't mention that one before. That is pretty fantastic.
And I won't lie, one of my favorite arcs on that show is when the warden is writing his screenplay and everything like that. And the warden, fantastically played by James Lipton. This is my transitional piece into the James Lipton COVID-19 questionnaire.
No touching.
No touching, which has never been more appropriate than now.
Right.
All right, are you ready for the questionnaire?
I think I'm prepared.
All right. Well, what is your favorite word?
Noted. I always say noted. Like somebody says something and I'm like, noted.
Well, what is your least favorite word?
It's not a word. Irregardless. People say that shit all the time and it pisses me off. Irregardless. It just, I can't even. Like, it really more than grinds my gears.
Who would you most like to be in a stay-at-home quarantine with? Alive, dead, fictional, non-fictional, fantasy?
Of course, Stormy, my dog, and my husband have been great. But I think Jimmy Fallon would be pretty fun. I've been watching him on his at-home nights, and I think he'd keep me busy.
Who would you least like to be in a stay-at-home quarantine with?
I actually reverted back to my celebrity death pool roster. Last year we got a personal pick, and I went with Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh.
There you go. What is your favorite curse word?
I say son of a bitch all the time, like son of a bitch. Or, you know, I'm always like, ugh, and I curse like a sailor all the time, but I'm trying to curb that a little bit. Everybody's got kids like yourself, you got the little one, so I try and reel it in a little bit more. Same at work. So I've been saying biscuit, just biscuit.
What is your favorite sound?
I am like everybody, I'm a water baby. I do like the beach waves, but I'm going to go with my classic thunderstorm. I'm a storm girl.
What sound or noise do you hate?
I really don't like the sound of Ben's pager going off, to be honest. As proud as I am of him, it always just makes my stomach go, oop, what's going to happen?
If you could only have one type of food during the stay-at-home quarantine, what would it be?
I'm going to go with cheesecake as like one food, but I would prefer anything that I can grill. I love to grill. Grilling's easy, but cheesecake is I love cheesecake.
You could even grill cheesecake.
Probably could. Grill toppings for the cheesecake. Bacony, caramely sauce maybe over the top of it. I don't know. You can do whatever you want with it.
What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
Again, back to the storms. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a meteorologist, but I would take it a step further and say either the NWS or NOAA and be a field research person.
What profession other than yours would you not like to do?
I'm going to give it up to your wife first because teachers, you are a specific, special kind of creature, but a bathroom attendant.
There was just an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm that had a storyline about that.
You don't see them very often, but I mean, let's be honest, that's not something you want to hang out for.
And the last question tonight, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Annie, I made you work for it a couple times, but I'm glad you're here.
And with that, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Quarantini Time. Stay safe out there. Tell Ben to stay extra safe.